Alrighty, we are back with episode 40 of Up a Creek with Two Paddles.
Episode 40.
We didn't miss a week this week. We're doing good.
I'm Blake.
I'm Austin. Come out of nowhere with that. How was your day? It's Saturday. It is April 13th. Fucking tax filing deadline is Monday, and I have not filed my taxes. So I got some work to do tomorrow.
I guess you're using TurboTax?
Yeah, hit me up with a little TurboTax or something like that.
Dude, I don't even know if I should talk about this, but I tried to file my taxes on TurboTax this year.
Yeah.
And it said that I couldn't file them electronically because someone had already used Jackson's social security number for, like, they'd used it and claimed it as a dependent.
Oh, Lord. Yeah.
And, like, who knows? It might have just been, like, Hannah put his social security number on her taxes but didn't file him as a dependent because that is her child. But because we're not married, you have to choose who.
Right.
And I just make more money, so it just makes more sense for me to
have a dependent.
Right. So it's like maybe it's because she filed her taxes and that was already on hers and now it's not. So who knows? So I have to mail mine in. Like,
that's dumb.
Yeah, you have to mail it in because you can't do it electronically, which is stupid. So yeah, that was annoying.
Yeah,
I don't reckon you'll have that problem.
No, but mine are annoying because I'm 1099. I'm independently contracted, so I have to do everything. Like,
so do you get I get a yearly W-2. Do you get a similar?
I get a 1099 form, but I got to go through and I track my mileage to work, so I got to go add all that up so I can get that deduction.
Right. That's got to be a huge deduction for you, doesn't it?
It's a couple grand. Yeah, it adds up. But yeah, so if you're hearing this and you haven't done your taxes, you're too late.
You're fucked.
I mean, you're not fucked. Just do them next year. You'll probably be okay.
So you asked me how my day was. Earlier I came outside my pull-up bar. If you need any metal work done in Union, South Carolina, find Caden Austin. That man will hook you the fuck up. And I was like, what the fuck is on top of my pull-up bar? It's like perfectly perched up there. Like it looked just like a piece of gum to me. And I was like, did someone break in and place a piece of gum on my pull-up bar? So I grabbed it instinctually. It was bird shit.
Yeah, okay.
You know how you grab something and throw it real quick?
Yeah.
You grab it, you're like, fuck, I should have grabbed that.
Dude, that's like a 2-inch diameter pole. That bird had some accuracy. So, like, what is the chances that this under multiple tree cover had a bird shit perfectly on like a 2-inch diameter pole?
And it didn't seem like the bird was moving. Like it was like, it would look like it fell straight down.
Yeah, it was probably resting on one of those branches above it.
And if a bird shit while it was flying, it would have like a path like that.
Yeah, there'd be an impact.
Yeah. But like it was just perfectly like, it looked like a pillow. It was like weird.
Yeah.
So anyway, and then yesterday we're sitting in my backyard, right? We're sitting in my backyard right now, but I was playing soccer in my backyard, and I accidentally kicked a ball into this guy's thicket on the other side of the fence.
Yeah.
It's in his thicket. He's not going to see it. The other day, I kicked it right at his doorstep, and he just threw it back over. Okay? But now he's not going to see this when it's in the thicket. But I don't want to jump over because that's trespassing.
I mean, you really are that worried about a neighborly dispute to get your soccer ball back? I think that's a pretty common thing in a neighborhood like this.
I don't want there to be any ability to condemn me of anything. Fuck all that, bro.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, I might as well. I'm thinking about leaving him just like a little note in his mailbox, like, "Hey, I accidentally
Soccer
kicked-
ball's in your thicket.
Yeah. My
That sounds
soccer-
like an innuendo. He might think he's got a secret admirer.
If his wife comes and gets it, I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Whose balls are in your thicket?
Not again, Billy. Not again, Billy.
That's the stupidest thing. Oh man. But yeah, more today's been a freaking beautiful day.
Indeed.
Just more and more green popping up by
It seems
the
like
hour.
it seems like we're past the worst of the pollen at this point.
Yes. The rain helped and the wind helped.
Yeah, that's true.
We have had like 40 mile an hour gusts. It's been wild windy for the past like 3 days.
Yesterday, me and Sawyer were laying out here on the swing, and we went inside because I didn't want any stray branches to be falling.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, the wind's been wild.
Sure enough, I came out here today, and there was a couple of branches that had fallen.
Speaking of the wind and the rain, like I was telling you a second ago, I believe my tomato may be dead. I'm very disappointed about it because we got 3 days of rain, and I'm growing in a container, so I have drainage. But then we had 3 days of straight rain, and then yesterday it was sunny and windy as hell. But I was like, there was 3 days of rain. I shouldn't have to water anything. And then walk outside to check my plants at about noon, and my tomato is shriveled and crispy. And I was so confused, so I watered it, and hopefully that helps.
I don't know what's going on with my plants, dude. I don't have a green thumb. I have to learn more. Like I just need to learn more about in-ground growing. And it could be that I just planted them too early, and the cold and the wet, cold rain really got to them. And
because you got them in right before the weekend. It was getting really cold,
couple
like
weeks.
35.
Yeah. It got into the 40s a couple times after I planted them.
Yeah. But with mine being in containers, I already had mine planted, but I brought them in for that weekend.
I also don't get a lot of good direct sunlight because of all the
not
trees.
On that patch, yeah.
I don't.
I mean, really anywhere. There's not really a good spot in
There's
this
so
yard.
many trees, dude.
I mean, you'd be well off with some shady crops.
So would you rather be in one of those housing developments with literally zero trees? Like there's a huge housing development, like mini square mile housing development, no trees. Like basically no trees.
Fuck that.
Maybe a couple on a couple street corners.
Right.
But like nobody has them in their backyard. It's all like fences and
Yeah.
You know?
I hate that. And plus, like you were talking about last week, that makes the efficiency of your house worse.
I'm sure it has.
It's full sun all day, and your black shingled roof. I mean, you're getting some heat absorption in
way
the house.
more. Yeah. I can tell. I can tell, especially when the sun hits the front of our house in the afternoon. There's not nearly as much tree cover.
Right.
The house warms up 5 degrees.
Right. Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, I would rather. I've said this many times. I would rather be in a tent in the woods than a housing development with no trees where I can reach out and touch my neighbor's house.
Perfectly manicured lawn that the HOA pays for. I like this neighborhood because it's a little bit. There's no HOA. Everybody just is doing their own thing. It's you know what I mean. It's kind of
This is a good spot.
It's a very unique neighborhood. I feel like
right. More updates about more of my plants. So my basil successfully propagated. It's
Really?
rooting. I'm excited.
I need to plant some basil, dude.
Did you ever do anything with that cutting I gave you, or is it still in the water, or did it die? Did you kill it?
No, it's still alive. It's still in my windowsill in the water.
Okay, perfect. But yeah, so basil propagates the same way. I never realized that. I thought basil would be like take a cutting, get like rooting hormone, go in dirt, but no, literally take a cutting of basil, throw it in some water, in a week you got a brand new basil plant. So now that I've learned that,
When you say a cutting, you just mean like literally a leaf or a part of a stem?
The stem. So you just do a little research.
But you want to have a leaf to a stem.
Yes. So
Or I'm sorry, stem to a leaf.
Right. So I would take like a cutting right below a leaf node, and then trim off the leaves kind of on the stem for that cut, because if the leaves are in the water, it's going to rot. So you don't want any of the foliage in the water. So you remove the leaves that are down towards the bottom of the stem where you cut it, and then just drop that stem in some water with some leaves out of the water on top, and it'll root. So I'm never going to have to buy basil again. So I'm very happy about that. My fiddle leaf fig.
Basil's so nice to have, dude.
It is. But my fiddle leaf fig started rooting, which I'm very excited about. The random...
So you said a fig?
Fig. I believe fiddle leaf figs technically will produce figs in the right conditions, but they're not necessarily as much of a delicacy as like a regular fig tree.
So this is just like a leafy plant. It's not for food.
Right. It's just a house plant. But so it started rooting, which I'm happy about. The random cutting I got from my grandma that I didn't even know what the plant was, but I threw it in water and took a cutting. I was like, it's worth a shot. It started rooting, so happy about that. I got like 30 of my radishes started popping up. They germinated successfully, so that's a win.
You're gonna have to pickle some of those, dude.
Oh, I'm gonna try and do everything with them.
You have to try to can
them, pickle them. Just have some salad.
Canning is the way to go, dude. My nana would can so many beans, tomatoes, peas.
Oh yeah.
Or she'd freeze peas. They'd freeze peas.
Two of my peas germinated.
Cucumbers, they'd can cucumbers.
I got a couple more peas I'm hoping will germinate. But right now I got 2 pea plants that popped up, so things are looking good. I'm excited. I'm feeling optimistic about everything except my damn tomato plant. But if I lose the tomato,
dude, tomato plants are pretty cheap, right? What are they, like $5?
Yeah, $5. But still,
and tomatoes grow fast too.
Yeah. I think mine and yours are about the same size.
Man, I'm gonna have 4 different kinds of tomatoes. I'm gonna do a couple blends.
I want to get a cherry. I don't want, again, I'm not a big tomato guy, but I definitely want one.
You like salsa and pizza?
I know.
That's
the main reason I'm growing them, but I'm saying I don't need an excess. I'm not going to have 4 or 5 tomato plants. 2 or 3 will suffice. But I'm thinking I just want like a nice, like, thick boy tomato, like a nice slicer. And then
Better Boy. Better Boys are good.
Yeah, and then some
you tried
type
them?
I have not. There's so many varieties of tomatoes.
Better Boy's like a big fat tomato, like a big, very full red tomato.
And so yeah, I just want a full size tomato and then a cherry. I think that'll be all right. I still want to get a cucumber and a hot pepper, because right now I got a bell. And I want to get. I don't know if I want to do cayenne or jalapeno or Tabasco.
You're right. I love jalapenos. When I had a jalapeno, my favorite thing to do with it was chop it and put it in an omelet.
Yeah.
Raw. I would just put it raw in that motherfucker.
Or like a Thai chili.
Oof.
Or a banana pepper.
I've never grown banana peppers.
I love a banana. My brother and my dad have
pickled banana peppers though are my shit.
I love a banana pepper on a pizza.
For sure.
You get like a mushroom onion pizza, throw a little pepperoni, a little banana pepper. Bro, the banana pepper has that like tangy acidity.
So good.
It just makes it really is nice on a pizza.
So good.
Hey, you got any updates over the last week? Anything happen? I've just been focused on plants. I've been watching gardening videos non-stop. That's all that's on my YouTube.
I'm trying to, dude. I don't know. You put me on the spot. No, I pretty much told you what was going on. I touched some shit. I kicked my ball into my neighbor's yard, so I'm pretty sad about those 2 things.
You cut your grass,
dude. I did cut my grass.
How do you like that little electric mower?
The electric mower, dude, is shockingly efficient.
Really?
It's wild.
I mean, for this type of yard, it's perfect.
Yeah,
for this type of yard, it's perfect. I want to know how well the non-powered mowers, the old school ones with just a rotating blade, I want to know how well those work, because for this type of yard, that would be ideal.
That'd be nice.
Where you're using no power. It's just your power.
Right.
I don't know how efficient or effective those things are.
It probably depends on how well you keep your blade.
Yeah,
but,
that's true.
Dude, I can hear people mowing their grass, like somebody over there, but the electric So it has two. I think it's 24 volt batteries,
Yeah.
which are two pretty big batteries, and you plug it in the top side of that thing, and it's really quiet. Like the only
It's kinda like a
noise,
fan.
the only noise is the blade,
Right.
and whatever it hits. But like it's so easy to use. I got Hannah to come out here and push a few feet just to like
Just
use
test it out.
Yeah, just to like
Come
show
check
her.
out my gadget.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, the electric is nice. Like you don't have to worry about going and getting some like mixed gas or something for a mower. You know what I mean?
You know,
dealing with the actual motor, it's just it's easy.
I'm sorry to interrupt your thought, but no, they seem very convenient. I cross that train track every time I come to your house, and I never realized it was that. I've never thought about it, how close that train is to you.
Yeah.
I don't know if the
I hear
mics are
it.
picking it up, but yeah. Yeah, so if we're done with personal updates, we'll move on to some things I wrote down.
I will say, since we're on the topic of cutting grass, I'm trying something, and it's basically under the recommendation of this guy that I've watched on Instagram.
Yeah.
He's a Southern guy. I think he's from Alabama, and he talks about like how we've lost so much of our native grasslands, especially in the
I think I've seen that
southeast,
guy, yeah.
just because of the way we cut down trees and the way we mow our lawns and the way we mow our lawns and the way we cultivate food. Like we just have
Right.
big food plots. And he's like, so often the grass like doesn't just get to grow,
Right.
and it kills a lot of the wildlife,
Yeah.
the base wildlife. You know, like
It's a big
your
reason where bees are disappearing.
insects, your pollinators, because all these grasses flower.
Mhm.
Like that's literally what they flower.
Yeah.
And then all that life that is kind of rooted in that basic part of the ecosystem just can't really thrive. So I'm cutting part of my grass to enjoy it, and like we
Yeah.
can play soccer and it's nice to walk around, whatever. And then I'm leaving places where I'm just kind of letting the grass do its thing.
Yeah.
And I've also heard it's good for your plants because it's like
Yes, because the root
like-
system is all the roots under your ground work together in tandem to
Right.
protect and communicate and
they
and-
weave together almost.
right. And then the mycelium within that network is very beneficial as well. Yeah, but I would if you want to make it look a little neater and not look like you just missed some spots mowing, you can
You're
take
thinking
that,
bricks.
Yeah, just like some landscaping bricks, and then line
That's a
out
good
where you,
idea.
and that way it looks intentional.
Right.
It looks like no, I'm letting that grow for the benefit
Mhm.
of all the plants around me.
I wonder
and,
how many
the
bricks. I wonder how
pollinators.
much because you can kind of see a relative shape.
Yeah, you've carved out a shape that would look really nice just defined by a little brick
Yeah.
landscaping brick. Just like the bricks with like the little curves on top that are just meant to
Mhm.
kind of line like shrubbery or stuff like that.
And people do that and put down gravel. I hate that.
Yeah.
Put down gravel. You want something as obtrusive as gravel in your backyard? Like,
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the gravel.
like I don't know. I prefer the grass. The grass and the dirt is more
Yeah.
welcoming, especially if you can take care of it.
And if you're worried, if you don't want to be, walking in grass or like risking,
I think people do it to not worry about bugs. You know
that's a
what I
big
mean?
point.
Like, people don't like bugs. Like,
No, I would love to have like kind of like what you have in the yard, and then maybe just do like a stepping stone path instead of gravel.
Mhm.
That way, you're allowing grass to come up all around. I don't know. I would prefer that. I think it looks better.
Dude, it's such a beautiful thing people do, like especially around where we live because it's so lush and things grow so well here. People make I've seen some properties driving through Columbia, like it looks like people have just made this huge man-made garden.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because these are, especially if you go in downtown Columbia, all those nice old houses, people have been there for since 1920. Some of those houses are that old. Like,
sure.
and those, the people, a lot of them have plants brought in. You know what I mean? And now it's been under constant landscaping care because those people are, well off. They
Yeah.
take care of their yard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's been under landscaped garden care for 50, 100, 60 years.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And so it's just this crazy
beautifully manicured.
garden
Yeah.
where people just, it's residential, very residential, but still allowed to be green.
Yeah. I love that balance.
Because some cities aren't like that. I'll look at Google Earth of I'm thinking Philly. You know what I mean? Like just straight streets of the same looking house over over and over and over. No plants. It's just street concrete step.
Just the concrete jungle.
Dude, like, but New York's a little different because they got some different flair. You know what I mean? They got almost like a European flair to their buildings.
Well,
but there's still
New York is so expansive. It's every borough has a different feel to it.
That's true.
You know, like, yeah, but I mean, New York's also got Central Park, which is like intentionally meant to keep some nature in the city.
Where did y'all stay when y'all went to New York?
Soho. It was on the border of Soho and Tribeca.
So y'all are on the Hudson, closer to the Hudson.
Yeah, we could see the Hudson. It was nice.
Just a little bit south west of Midtown.
I think. I don't know. I'm not that familiar with New York's boroughs.
Yeah, Midtown I think is like where the Big Apple is.
I thought that was just New York City.
No, I thought the Big Apple was like the square, like that iconic shot, like Times Square, not Times Square. I'm sorry.
I have no clue.
What's that shot like? It's like God, that famous shot. Like
I don't know what you're referring to. Every picture of New York City is a famous shot.
People are gonna. We need to clip this because people need to roast us. Like,
no, we're just a couple South Carolinians. We don't know about the big city.
That's true. I'm trying to make it in the city. Like, people like come here like from bigger cities to work that I've talked to, and I'm like, man, you guys have no idea. I come from a small town.
Yeah.
Like, small town. Oh, dude, I see a lot of birds in my backyard, which is cool. It is 100% because of the trees and the,
For sure.
And I see, I see a lot of Carolina wrens.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, state bird.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I see a bird nest, or that might be a squirrel's nest up in that tree right there.
Let's get a 22.
You want to get the cops called real quick. You ain't in that small town anymore, son.
Gotta silence it. Doop doop.
But
be quick, lethal.
Why don't you talk a little bit about what you got whipping up tonight? What you cooking?
Man, so highbrow beef hooked me up.
Shout out.
With some live aged 40-month aged beef, grass finished beef. I got some short ribs because they're cheap and they were on sale.
Nice.
So I'm just braising up some short ribs, serving them over some mashed potatoes.
Hell yeah.
I was gonna do carrots, but they were RIP to the carrots. They had been in there a little too long. Got a little bit gross. Clean out your fridge, kids.
What episode was that conversation? It's been a while.
Clean out your fridge, kids.
No, I
they
figured
weren't too
out,
bad. If you could have salvaged them.
Just cut off the yeah.
So no carrots, unfortunately, but
dude, meat and potatoes is the fucking meat and potatoes. Like that, there's a reason that's a saying.
Yes.
I made some bread, made some hoagie rolls. Hopefully they'll be good.
Dude, you remember back in the I'm sure back in the day, like I'm thinking like 1920s depression, like you're like, you got some grits? Hit me up with, you got some fucking ground dried corn. You better give me some of that shit, you motherfucker. But now, like, you know what I mean? People, you have some oats. You literally have oats.
Right.
Flour. Like people were just like literally basic things. They were like,
Yeah.
I need that. But
milk, cheese, wheat.
That's literally all they have. But now like people can like live off meat. Like they were lucky if they saw meat like once a month.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's true.
And now people can literally like live off of it.
Man.
Because of our surplus. The way we've that's just wild to me.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's crazy. If you look into the history of food availability,
so much has changed in the past
food
50 years. Or 70, I would say now.
Yeah, for sure. But I found a very delicious, cheap as fuck meal
What's that?
It's what I Snapchatted you the other day, or yesterday, or 2 days
I
ago,
take
whatever
that
the fuck
back.
it was.
Like, maybe if you were in South Carolina, you probably knew a couple motherfuckers that kept some cows on them. They always
Yeah,
got
it
100
all
head.
depends on where you live.
Always got 100 head, right?
Yeah, and
Right.
obviously, people maybe depending a little bit more on hunting and deer meat and venison.
And I really
And
like
chickens
that,
are big.
That like I don't have to like say maybe if the what do they call it
No clue what you're talking about.
supply chain. They say
Yes.
if the supply chain goes down,
Yeah.
maybe I can still get beef from that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And now I have a relationship with him now.
Well, that's the thing, though.
Like I talk to him every month, once a month, once every couple weeks.
You can only get there to pick up that meat if you can get gas.
That's true.
So you're fucked either way. But so I got it's a little spin on some Asian stir fry type of meal. I got a stupid cheap, like less than $10 a pound cut of like chuck steak or like Ive round, any of those super cheap, just not good for actual steaks that they sell as steaks, even though you shouldn't eat them as steaks.
It looked like a
basically.
chuck, yeah.
I sliced it really thin little strips of beef, threw that in a skillet and fried that up real nice and crispy. Then got some. The first time I did it with ramen noodles, but I didn't have any ramen left, so I used some spaghetti noodles. Boiled up some spaghetti noodles, and then got some, obviously, salt, garlic powder, all the main shit, and then sweet chili sauce.
Ooh,
Where
that
the
sounds
Asian
nice.
flair comes in.
That's what I'm missing.
It was fucking delicious. And honestly, I did it really basic, but if you wanted to, still, it'd still be extremely cheap, but I just got beef. I didn't feel like getting anything else. You dice up some carrots really fine, get you some peas, green peas, and then maybe crack an egg in your stir fry and get like a little bit more of an authentic stir fry. Like, oh my God, it'd be good.
Let me holler at you real quick. So this month I got beef from this guy every month. He had a lot of stuff on sale. I got a bavette steak. I had never heard of a bavette steak.
Yeah.
And
I've heard of it. I don't know what cut it is.
it's similar to like a skirt or a flank. So it's like a
Right.
piece of meat like that comes from the belly.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't see it in the grocery store a lot because it's kind of like a butcher's cut
Right.
type of deal. You know what I mean? Like the bavette gets gone before the supply gets like
Yeah.
the grocery store. Like everybody gets to choose, and then the grocery store gets kind of
Right.
what's left or whatever.
Also, what's most profitable?
True. That's a good point.
Because there's a lot of cuts of a cow that are delicious.
The
but
bavette was
they're harder
harder
to market as well.
Right. The bavette, you have to know what you're doing with this
Right.
with this cut of meat. It was about 2 pounds, and if you've ever had a flank or a skirt, you know it's very like fibrous. Like it has all these like individual muscle fibers
Right.
running through it, as opposed to like being one big cohesive unit. It's kind of weird.
Right.
It's kind of different.
Right.
But anyway, I cut it all into small strips, similar to like a Korean beef type of deal, you know,
Yeah.
or like an Asian stir fry, like just strips of beef. It took me like 40 minutes, dude, because it was like a big 2 pound thing. It had a good bit of fat, kind of, and layers of. It was nice. It was a nice piece of meat. I had to cut it down real nice.
Sounds good.
But I tried to do this Korean beef kind of thing that I saw. So I just basically seared that sliced bavette steak and then made a sauce. It was just raw ginger, garlic, soy sauce, brown sugar. And I blended that and
Sounds
just
good.
made like a sauce and poured that over and just kind of cooked that chicken and reduced that sauce down.
Yeah.
And then added a little bit more soy sauce, and it was kind of like a teriyaki, similar to a teriyaki
You
sauce.
just called it chicken.
Or sorry, the beef. It was similar to a teriyaki sauce, and then I served that over rice.
Yeah, that sounds delicious.
It was good. It could have used some more flavor, like maybe that chili sauce that you were talking about would have
Yeah.
been good.
I got that sweet chili sauce randomly because I got it when I was making some pinwheels. And I was like, I'm trying, because I think it might be like a Thousand Island type of deal. I don't know. I couldn't find the sauce that I was looking for, and I just took a risk on the sweet chili sauce, and that shit is fire, dude. I love it. That will be in my fridge from now on. Very good.
I'm excited about tonight, dude.
Oh, man.
Some
I
shredded braised beef over potatoes.
I might just throw potatoes and beef on that roll and fucking eat it like
No,
a sandwich,
just the
dude.
beef,
That would be
beef and cheese,
delicious.
beef and cheese.
Oh,
son.
that'd be good too.
Beef and cheese.
That'd be
No,
so
not
good.
potatoes. I hate when people double up on starches, dude.
Who gives a fuck? I'm eating them both.
Like, I see my brother and my sister both will eat cheesy rice with the chip, and I'm like, how dare you? Like, carb on carb. You can't do that.
I'm going to consume
bread.
them.
You can't eat bread and potatoes together.
I'm going to consume them
The
both
sheer
anyway.
audacity of that.
They're both going in my
How
gut regardless
Dare you?
of the medium in which I consume them. They will both be in my gut by the end of the night.
So I cut.
So who gives a fuck?
I did some sweet potatoes a little different than I normally do. Normally I just roast them whole. You know what I mean? You ever roasted a sweet potato?
I have not.
You never cooked a sweet potato?
I've
son?
never cooked a sweet potato.
What the fuck do you eat?
The hundreds of other vegetables the grocery store sells.
Sweet potatoes?
I've never cooked a sweet potato. What fucking come at me? What do you mean? I've never cooked bok choy. I've never cooked a fucking radish. I've never cooked a beet. I have cooked beets, I think, once.
I've cooked beets. Golden
Shut
and
your fucking
regular.
mouth. I don't. No, I've never
Anyway,
cooked
a sweet potato is like
I've consumed plenty.
like. Are you fucking Irish, brother? Like,
No, I'm not Irish.
what are you?
I know I've got some French in me. I know I've got
Oh,
some
gay.
some English in me, some Native American, some probably a little touch of Neanderthal. I'm not Irish. I don't think I'm
sorry.
Irish at all.
I
You-
just
you
assumed. I just
racist.
assumed. I don't know, dude. What were we talking about?
I don't know. You were talking about cooking a sweet potato, and then you
Yeah,
you
sweet
accosted
potato.
me about the fact that I've never.
Let's
cooked
move
one.
on. I don't need to tell people how to be cooking my sweet potatoes.
All right, well, let's update everyone on the rat beef.
Okay.
So,
Sure.
last week we talked about how there was first-person shooter song with Drake and Cole, and then they talked about how they're the goats,
Right.
basically. And I said,
And I think it's all just. You think it's just hype to like promote new albums?
so right now,
Because
After-
J.
hold
Cole
up.
just came out with a new album.
let me
right?
explain all this. So, after the recent events, I do think it may have been a publicity stunt.
Oh, really?
But hold on. First of all, these people don't need the publicity. They are the most famous rappers on the planet. I don't think they need the publicity.
But the
That's such a hard word to say.
The publicity is what gives them that status.
I know, but at this point, they don't need it. But anyway, let me explain. So then on Metro Boomin's and Future's album, on the song called Like That,
dude, Southern dudes. Shout out.
Metro Boomin's not Southern.
He's from Atlanta.
No, he's not. He's from St. Louis.
Damn it.
He came up in Atlanta,
Right.
but he's from St. Louis. I mean,
Gotcha.
not to say, I'm
Sorry.
sure he came
I think
up
you've told me
plenty-
that
yes.
on the podcast before.
Anyway,
Sorry.
so Kendrick dissed the fuck out of Drake and J. Cole. I mean, he went in, all right? That microphone was burnt to a crisp by the end of his verse.
Jesus.
So then J. Cole dropped the album, Might Delete Later, and the last song on the album was called 7 Minute Drill.
I've been
And
listening to some of that's a good album.
It's a
He's got
great
some
album.
good- he's
It's
got-
a
he's
really
got
good
some good
album.
music on there.
So 7 Minute Drill fully went in on at Kendrick, like very eloquently. And then J. Cole apologized publicly for the diss track and removed it from all streaming platforms. It's not available anymore. It might be on YouTube. So I'm very thankful I heard it
What?
on Spotify. Yes. And then,
This is not real. You're lying.
no, seriously, J. Cole apologized publicly and
So
said,
what was the diss track like? Like, you heard it. What was it like? I mean,
he said, like, one of my favorite lines is 4 albums in 12 years. I know how to I know how to divide. But also what's crazy is all of these artists have worked together in the past.
Sure.
Cole and Kendrick have worked together in the past. Drake and Kendrick have worked together in the past. Drake and Cole have worked together plenty. So anyway, so Metro Boomin and Future dropped part 2 of We Don't Trust You, named We Still Don't Trust You.
Wait, who dropped this album?
Metro Boomin and Future.
And Future. Okay.
So the very first album where Kendrick dissed First Person Shooter was We Don't Trust You. And that was dropped like a few weeks ago. They just dropped basically part 2 to that album, which is called We Still Don't Trust You. And now, so on the first album, Kendrick was on it dissing Cole and Drake. On the second part, J. Cole is on this album now. And people have claimed that he threw shots at Drake. So the fact that, like you're saying, First Person Shooter is the oldest song that we're talking about. And then Like That came out. And then literally within like a week, J. Cole dropped an album with a diss track on Kendrick. And now within another week, there's a whole nother album where Cole's on it. And it's the same people that Kendrick was on. I'm so confused. I'm like, I don't understand at all. But I don't think J. Cole dissed Drake, because literally it's one line where he says, like, my stories were better, my similes were better. I forget the actual words. But some people have read into that and said, like, oh, he's dissing Drake by saying that. It's like, no, I think that's just something a rapper says. He's saying, like, he made it because his stories and similes were better than the average rapper. I don't think he's calling out Drake personally, because literally it's just that line.
All those guys use similar verbiage to claim they're the best.
Yes. And also J. Cole.
But they all do it with their own flair, for sure.
Yeah. And J. Cole owned the We Don't Trust You, We Still Don't Trust You.
Who's your favorite of them?
Probably Cole.
Really?
Yeah, so I might be a little biased. But he's saying, like, I've never, on this album, he's like, I never was the type of rapper that was sitting here saying, like, I'm the best. He was like, I was never about that. I've always been down to earth. I've never been flashy. You don't see me in fucking Vegas. You don't see me on social media. Like, I keep to myself. I've always been that way. He's like, I've always been this guy. I've never fronted, basically. Whereas Drake, 100%, is all about the front. Which I guess front kind of implies that it's fake. And I don't obviously Drake has everything he's bragging about having. So I guess it's not a front. But he's very ostentatious with his funds and success. But
As
yeah,
opposed to Kendrick, who really, he's talked about in his songs where he's like, I've been scared to spend money. Like, I feel like I'm going to lose it all.
J. Cole.
No, Kendrick.
And Kendrick as well. Kendrick's a little bit more reserved. Kendrick's less about, and I haven't heard every fucking Kendrick song. I'm sure there's things to counteract this argument. But Kendrick's always been more about, like, respect me for my skill. I'm the best lyricist. Respect me for my skill. I don't care about what I got. I don't care about this success, but you ain't going to say I'm not the best lyricist on the planet.
Yeah.
And J. Cole's more like kind of similar. And then Drake's just like, no, I'm the best. But yeah, so
what's your favorite album out of those three, though? Because, like, those guys have, all three of those dudes have a couple of albums that are just so fucking good.
So when we talk about J. Cole, can we count Dreamville collaboration albums?
That, I know.
But Cole facilitates that.
Yeah, but I don't. To be honest,
Cole started
I wouldn't
Dreamville.
Consider those albums that have all those guys on them the quality that he puts out by himself, and I just don't think it's the same.
They jam though.
They do.
They're a different style for sure.
You put that over Damn though, or like, you know.
I don't, dude. Some of those Dreamville albums are fucking
like Take Care by Drake. Come on, bro. Come on, that's a good album.
Which album is that?
Take Care. That's like that's the one with him on the front cover. He's like sitting. He's got like a chalice. It looks like he's in like a little, like a fucking parlor, like a really dark parlor room. No,
I don't know that album. Okay, I'm not a Drake fan.
Yeah.
I don't not like Drake. I've never said. Every time we have this discussion, I'm like, listen, I'll give Drake his respect, his dues, but he's not Cole and Kendrick.
I think my personal favorite. They all just have different vibes. Like you all want them
it's
for
not
different.
an apples to apples
you
comparison.
want yeah. Because if I'm throwing a party,
You got to have Drake.
you gotta have
You got
Drake.
to have Drake.
And Kendrick's got some songs that will put you on another level.
Yeah.
Like
so
they'll
does
sing
J.
you to
Cole.
it. True. For I'm trying to think of a part like a J. Cole party song. Like there's multiple.
Like
but
Under the Sun, fucking Sacrifices, Stick. You kidding me?
I'm thinking of some classics.
Stick. Fucking jams, dude.
I don't know that song. I don't think.
It's mainly JID. He's just yelling stick, stick, stick. But it is hard as fuck.
Damn.
I think one of J. Cole's line is at the end of his verse, he's like something about treat a ride through the hood like a hike through the woods, got a stick that I take with me. Like, bro, that's a fire lyric, dude. That slaps, man.
Damn.
Yeah, you can't.
You need them all.
J. Cole is my favorite.
I'm glad they're all existing.
So what are your top
Simultaneously.
5? I know we've had this discussion, but it always changes. What are your top 5 favorite artists right now? Wait, didn't we just talk about this recently?
No,
Because
I
I
don't
was
think
like,
so.
or I might have talked about that with Holden. Because I was recently, I asked somebody who are their top 5 artists. I swear it was you, alive producing today.
Oh, my brother called me. I'll call him back. Later. Let me tell you.
Because like, I'm like, if you want me to say top 5 artists of all time, Mac Miller's always going to be in there for me. But I'm not. That's not the list I'm shooting for right now. I'm saying, who are you listening to the most right now?
Right.
Well, I guess.
Okay. Let me tell you the
Dead or
guys.
alive, who
Let
you
me tell
coming
you
back
the
to?
guys that I want to go see. That I've like. So Leon Bridges, he was coming to Charlotte. I was super excited to go see him. We were on the way up here, on the way up to Charlotte. My truck died.
Oh yeah, I think you told me that. Yeah.
So I really want to see him. I'm a big Leon Bridges fan. He has so many songs I love. I've seen Gary Clark Jr. in person.
Yeah.
At the Peace Center. I think we talked about that.
Yeah, that was
Dude,
last week.
He was fucking awesome. So I love both of those guys. Another artist that I'm trying to think. I'm trying to pick I guess most recently the rapper that I've been like enjoying their music most recently the most would probably be Killer Mike. His last album has got me vibing. Like a lot of songs on that album got me vibing for sure.
I swear we just talked about this.
We might have.
Yeah. So
I don't think we did though. Maybe maybe it
wasn't
was similar.
Maybe it wasn't that specific, but we definitely talked about. I mean, I know we talked about it last week because we were talking about the rap beef, which just
All
led
right,
us into
let's
talking
get a
about
white
music.
guy in there.
Favorite white man making music today.
God.
Man.
I'm gonna go you. You're the only one that I can think of.
It's hard to think of a white man I've been listening to.
That's
to be
not
honest.
John Mayer.
That's so funny.
Let me just look.
Jack Harlow's
Ooh, Alan Stone. He's a good one. I like Alan Stone a lot. Do you know Alan Stone?
the name sounds very familiar. I think I've heard some stuff. I'm
trying to think of some of his most
what did I just
popular
say?
music.
You just made me blank out. I literally just said it.
Dude, if you don't know Alan Stone, you should listen to him. He's good.
Jack Harlow's last album was pretty good.
I've never listened to much of his music.
I didn't like him at first, but his last album was really good, and he seems to be pretty. He seems to be like a cool.
Are you a
dude.
big jam band guy?
Nah, not really.
I've never been either. I hate to say it because like I have a couple of friends that are like diehard jam band fans,
Yeah.
and I just can't listen to them for 2 hours.
My brother used to be really into Fish.
Fish. I've heard of that.
I mean, I like some Grateful Dead songs.
Have you
but-
had to turn the camera already?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't necessarily like the 20-minute versions of Grateful Dead songs.
Dude, I'm telling you, I got the chance to see them in person with John Mayer, and it was fucking awesome.
Oh, I'm sure it's amazing.
We've
in
talked about this
person.
on the
Yeah.
podcast, I think.
But like Casey Jones, fucking great song.
To be honest,
You
I
put
was
me- I can't even
so
think of
excited to see Chance the Rapper in concert, but he canceled 2 separate shows.
Damn. I like Chance the Rapper.
He don't really be doing music. I
I'm-
heard Chance is getting a divorce.
I didn't even know he was
I
married.
saw some. Yeah. I saw.
I don't follow him that much.
Okay, he's hinted at it a lot in his music. So basically, him and his girlfriend, like they split up, but he always loved her. And then like he had a kid with her, but they weren't together. And then they got back together and they got married. And now they're like, and now apparently they're getting a divorce. And I was like, I saw like somebody make a meme that was like basically like, yo, get in the studio, Chance. You know the best way to like get over that shit. Just get in the studio,
I'm
man.
sure there'll be an album coming out. I'm still trying to think of white artists I listen to.
Mac Miller.
I can't count him though.
Just think of different genre. Like go country.
I mean, yeah, I'm like Zach Bryan's good. I don't listen to him that much. Wild Child.
Tyler Childers.
Wild Child's a good one. I don't really listen to Tyler Childers that often. There's some good, good songs that'll pop up every now and then. 347 Aiden, good guy. I don't think he's put out any music recently. And he's super young. I wouldn't even count him as like one of the main. I don't know. Yeah, it's why is it so hard to think of white people I listen to? I don't think like I would say 90% of the music that comes on my Spotify is non-white folk making music.
Maybe that's just your algorithm, Holmes.
Or it's just the music I like. I like rap.
Right.
I like hip hop. I like rap music.
Right.
I'm not big on country. I like rock. Rock's fine. But no, I love rap music.
You like Red Hot Chili Peppers? They're just not new.
Yeah.
They're white.
Yeah, but I wouldn't count that. They're not. When's the last album they dropped?
I don't know.
It's probably a long time ago, if I had to guess. I have no clue.
I think they put out an album pretty recently.
Well, they
see.
should start dissing each other so they get more publicity. Because I
Wait.
haven't heard about it.
Wait, who are we talking about?
The Red Hot Chili Peppers. They got to start dissing fucking. I don't know who's a competitor to the Red Hot Chili. Who's a similar band.
Good God.
What?
2002.
That was their last album. Are you sure?
2002, 2016, 2011, 2006.
Yeah, it's been a minute. 2016 was 8 years ago.
No, their latest one was 2002. They put out 2 albums in 2002.
You're saying 2002.
I'm sorry, 2022, damn it. 2022, damn it. So they put out 2 albums in 2022. And before that, it was 2016. They have a lot of albums, bro.
I did not even know they were dropping an album in 2022.
Yeah, I'm sure they're like, you don't even think about old guys that are still doing
Yeah,
it.
that's true.
Like, for real.
Fucking U2.
These guys might put you on some shit that might. Because these old heads that have been doing it, they just fucking around, homie. They're just having fun.
But I mean, so are
This
a lot of
content
people.
is not authorized. Oh,
Don't play it on the podcast, you idiot.
it'll get us censored. I like that. I like the vibe of that.
I mean, honestly, we're not. It's not like we make money, so you can play it for now. Until we start making money, we can play
Right.
whatever the fuck we want because
True.
nobody can steal our money.
That's a good point. Jackson wants to come out here. I got to take a leak.
I'm getting hungry.
Dude, we need to peel some spuds.
I'm getting hungry.
You want to help me peel some spuds?
Sure. I mean, I don't know what time we're at. We're definitely not in at an hour yet. I mean, it's not like it has to be an hour. I'm sure we're getting kind of close.
No, we're good. We can keep going. Can I pee first?
Let's just end it. Fuck it.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening.
Short and sweet.
We're about to watch the fight. It's going to be nice.
Yeah.
Eat some beef. Eat
Oh,
some
the fights have
taters.
already started.
It's after 8.
No.
No, it's 6:30.
The early prelims start at 6.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you're right.
Yeah. But yeah, fucking heavy card.
Heavy. We didn't even talk about that. The UFC
We talked about it
yet.
last week. We ran through everybody
A little
last
bit,
week.
a little bit, yeah.
We ran through the card. You said everybody was fighting.
All right, who you got? in
Dude,
the
I
main
don't know
event?
anything.
Jamal Hill or
I know nothing.
Alex Pereira. I'm gonna go Jamal Hill.
I have heard of Pereira.
John Wei
So I'd
Lee
have to go
versus
with him.
another. So there's a Chinese woman. This
Cat is drooling on me.
I saw it earlier. It was gross.
He is drooling.
It was gross.
I don't mind, man. I love animals. Blake's a fucking.
I like cats from a distance.
Cats from a distance. That's the episode title. That's cats.
All right, I gotta pee. I'm gonna pee my pants.
All right. Love you guys. Thank you for listening.
See you next week.
Oh, God damn it. We forgot to shout out the email again. We forgot last week, too. So nobody's going to hear this late into the pod, but upacreek at thepaddlepod.com. Shoot us an email.
Oh, we should start doing that at the beginning.
Yes. I haven't checked it in like 3 weeks. So maybe we have email.
Dude, oh yeah, that's true.
All right. Well,